The Midlife Audit, Deciphering the Financial Mirage of the American Dream. It is a quiet Saturday morning, and Dave is standing in his kitchen, still wearing the sweatpants he slept in. In his hand, a mug of coffee has gone stone cold because he has spent the last 11 minutes paralyzed by a headline on his smartphone. In the background, the rhythmic hum of the dishwasher marks a mid-cycle chore, and his daughter's laughter drifts in from the living room where she's watching cartoons. Everything seems normal until Dave reads the screen. The average American in their mid-40s has a net worth of nearly $1 million. Dave is 45 years old. He does not have $1 million. What Dave has is a 401k he's afraid to check, a mortgage with 22 years of payments remaining, and a Parent Plus loan statement sitting unopened on the counter next to the microwave. Like millions of other Americans this morning, Dave is staring into the digital abyss, trying to determine if he is a personal failure or if the statistics are lying to him. The truth is a mixture of both comfort and urgency. The $1 million figure is a mathematical illusion, a laundered statistic that obscures the reality of the middle class. However, the reality it hides is equally sobering, and it comes with a ticking clock. My name is Nick, and today we are going to strip away the myths to find out exactly where you stand in the financial landscape of 2026. The tyranny of the average. Let's dismantle the headline first. According to the most recent Federal Reserve data, the average American household headed by someone aged 45 to 54 boasts a net worth of $975,800. For a responsible adult who has spent 2 decades working, saving, and paying bills, that number feels like a physical blow. It suggests that if you aren't a millionaire, you are fundamentally doing something wrong. But there is a massive distinction between the average and the median, and understanding this gap is the most critical takeaway for your financial sanity. The average, the mean. This is calculated by adding everyone's wealth and dividing it by the number of people. If you put Jeff Bezos in a room with 9 people who have $0, the average person in that room is a multi-billionaire. It is a mathematically accurate but practically useless figure. The median, the middle. This is the real person number. If you line everyone up from the poorest to the wealthiest, the median is the person standing exactly in the center. For the 45 to 54 age bracket, while the average is nearly $1 million, the median net worth is $247,200. That is a staggering gap of over $728,000. When major news outlets run headlines about millionaire averages, they are essentially averaging Jeff Bezos with a raccoon. Technically, the raccoon is a billionaire, but you wouldn't ask him for financial advice. The $247,000 figure represents your neighbor, your coworker, and Dave. The real scoreboard for 2026. To understand your standing, you must confront your own data. It is often uncomfortable but necessary. If you total your assets, cash, 401k, home equity, brokerage accounts, and subtract your liabilities, mortgage, credit cards, student and auto loans, where do you land? At age 45, the percentiles break down as follows. Bottom 25%. Net worth under $48,000. The median, 50%. Net worth around $247,200. Top 25%. Net worth of approximately $680,000. Top 10%. Net worth of $1.4 million. Top 1%. Net worth of $8.7 million or more. While $247,000 sounds like a respectable $250,000, we must look at the anatomy of that wealth. For the typical American in this age group, roughly 60% to 70% of their net worth is locked in home equity. If you strip away the house, Dave isn't sitting on a mountain of cash. He's likely looking at about $87,000 in liquid or semi-liquid assets to cover retirement, emergencies, and his children's education. You cannot pay for groceries with drywall, and turning equity into cash usually requires taking on 9% interest debt or selling the very roof over your head. The retirement gap and the sandwich trap. The situation becomes more precarious when we look at retirement readiness. Financial institutions like Fidelity suggest that by age 50, an individual should have 6 times their annual salary saved. For a median household income of $116,800, that means Dave should have $700,000 in his retirement accounts. The reality? The median 401k balance for this age group is a mere $60,763. Dave isn't 6 times his income. He is 0.5 times. Even when you include IRAs and pensions, the median total is only $115,000. Alarmingly, nearly 38% of households in their mid-40s to mid-50s have essentially zero retirement savings. This lack of savings isn't necessarily born of irresponsibility. It is the result of being the sandwich generation. Over 54% of people in their 40s are currently providing financial support to an aging parent, while simultaneously raising children or supporting adult children who have moved back home. Dave's missing retirement contributions are likely paying for his mother's $6,200 a month assisted living facility or his son's college expenses. It is structurally impossible to max out a 401k when you are financially responsible for 3 generations at once. The Great Wealth Transfer Illusion. Many in Dave's position hold on to a quiet hope: the inheritance. The Great Wealth Transfer promises that $84 trillion will pass from boomers to their heirs. However, this is largely a mirage for the average family. Concentration. 68% of that wealth belongs to the top 7% of households. The cost of care. Long-term care is incredibly expensive. Dave's mother is spending $74,000 a year on care. That money is coming directly out of the house she intended to leave him. The median inheritance. For the bottom 50% of the population, the median inheritance is estimated to be around $9,700. That isn't life-changing wealth. It's a used car with high mileage. Furthermore, the Social Security safety net is fraying. Projections suggest the trust fund may be depleted by 2035, leading to a potential 23% cut in benefits. For those born in 1965, this wall arrives just 3 years after they reach full retirement age. The path forward. The 20-year window. If this sounds bleak, remember that Dave still possesses the most valuable asset in finance: time. At 45, You still have a 20-year window before traditional retirement age.
While the easy wealth window of the 2000s is closed, the power of compounding remains. To replace 80% of a median income in retirement, Dave might need $1.7 million. Reaching that from a starting point of $115,000 requires aggressive saving, often more than a sandwich generation budget allows. However, even modest changes are transformative. If Dave increases his 401k contribution by just 4% and sets up a small automated IRA contribution totaling $700 a month, that single decision is worth approximately $380,000 over the next 20 years, assuming a 7% return. That is the difference between total dependency on a failing system and having a genuine cushion. The race is still on. Dave's cold coffee and his anxiety are symptoms of a game that has become significantly harder. He isn't a failure. He is a runner in a race that started 15 years ago without a starting pistol. Where do you stand? If your number is $247,000, you are exactly in the middle of the pack. If you are below $48,000, you are in a crowded boat with a quarter of your peers. But the number that matters most isn't what you have today. It's the decision you make on Monday morning. The compounding machine is still running. You just have to turn it on. The finish line won't wait, but you still have enough track left to change the outcome.